Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Chapter 1. Owl Post, or Harry does homework under his blanket like a criminal. Harry Potter is 13 and spending another miserable summer at the Dursleys. But this year is slightly better because Uncle Vernon's sister Marge is not visiting, and Harry has his own bedroom. The bars are gone. He's hiding under his blanket with a flashlight doing his homework at 1 a.m. because the Dursleys think magic homework is dangerous. His essay for History of Magic is about medieval witch burnings, which is darkly funny because witches and wizards would use a flame-freezing charm and pretend to scream while enjoying the tickling sensation. Basically, Muggles burned the same witch multiple times, and she enjoyed it. Medieval times were weird. Harry gets birthday letters and gifts. Ron sends him a letter from Egypt where his family is vacationing, with money they won in a lottery. Ron gifts Harry a pocket sneakoscope that lights up and spins when someone untrustworthy is nearby. And Hagrid sends a cryptic message about being the new Care of Magical Creatures teacher, with a book that bites people. Harry has to tie the book shut with a belt to prevent it from biting him. It is the most extra textbook ever. The best gift comes from Hermione, who sends a letter from France where she is vacationing with her family and includes a fancy new broomstick servicing kit. Harry also sees on the Muggle news that a dangerous criminal named Sirius Black has escaped from prison and is at large. The Dursleys are terrified of criminals, but have no idea this one is magical. Chapter 2. Aunt Marge's Big Mistake, or Harry Commits Inflatable Homicide. Plot twist. Aunt Marge is visiting for a week, and it's going to be hell. Vernon bribes Harry to act normal. If Harry can pretend magic doesn't exist for 7 days, Vernon will sign his permission form for Hogsmeade, the wizarding village near Hogwarts school that third years can visit on weekends. Harry agrees because he desperately wants to go to Hogsmeade with his friends. He can survive 1 week of Aunt Marge. Probably. Aunt Marge is awful. She's a dog breeder who treats her bulldogs better than humans and constantly insults Harry's dead parents. She implies Harry's dad was a drunk and his mom was terrible. Harry grips his wand under the table, trying not to explode. On the final night, Marge goes too far, saying Harry's father was worthless and his mother was bad stock. Harry loses control of his magic and inflates Aunt Marge like a balloon. She floats to the ceiling, bounces off, and starts drifting out the window. Vernon is screaming. Petunia is shrieking. Marge is floating away. Harry grabs his trunk and runs away into the night, because he's definitely getting expelled now for doing magic outside school, and potentially killing a relative. Harry is wandering around Little Whinging in the dark, terrified and furious, when he sees something creepy in the shadows. He pulls out his wand as a massive triple-decker bus appears out of nowhere. This is the Night Bus, an emergency transport for stranded witches and wizards. Chapter 3. The Night Bus, or the worst driving in the magical world. The Night Bus is driven by Ernie Prang, who drives like a maniac, and has a conductor named Stan Shunpike, who's young and trying way too hard to seem cool. The bus is purple, has beds instead of seats, and teleports between locations, squeezing through impossible spaces and scaring Harry to death. Stan keeps talking about Sirius Black, who escaped from Azkaban prison, the first person to ever escape. Stan says Black is a mass murderer who killed 13 people with one curse. Harry pretends he's not Harry Potter, and says his name is Neville Longbottom. The bus zooms through traffic, launches over roundabouts, streetlights and mailboxes jump out of the way as the bus barrels through the streets, terrifying Harry. They drop Harry off at the Leaky Cauldron in London, where Cornelius Fudge, the Minister of Magic himself, is waiting. Harry expects to be arrested. Instead, Fudge is weirdly nice, gives him a room, and tells him to stay in Diagon Alley until school starts. No punishment for inflating his aunt. The Ministry fixed her and modified her memory. No expulsion for underage magic. Fudge just wants Harry to be safe. This is suspicious. Why is everyone being so nice? What's going on? Chapter 4. The Leaky Cauldron, or Harry's best 2 weeks ever. Harry spends 2 weeks living in Diagon Alley completely unsupervised, and it's amazing. He eats breakfast at the Leaky Cauldron, explores shops, does his homework at Florian Fortescue's ice cream parlor, where the owner helps him with his history of magic essay and gives him free Sundays, and buys his school supplies. He gets his new books, and sees that his birthday gift from Hagrid, the Monster Book of Monsters, that tried to bite him earlier, is on his list of books. The bookshop clerk is covered in bandages and terrified whenever a student comes to buy the book, because the whole stack of the monster books, which are being kept in a cage, have been fighting each other. One day, Harry spots a beautiful broomstick in a shop window. The Firebolt, the fastest racing broom in the world. It's so expensive the price isn't even listed. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Harry drools over it but knows he can't buy it. Ron and Hermione arrive. The Weasleys are back from Egypt, and Hermione is tanned from her vacation in France. They stay at the Leaky Cauldron too, and the trio is reunited. Ron's rat Scabbers looks terrible, like he's been stressed and losing weight. Ron's worried about him and takes Scabbers to a magical pet shop to purchase potion to make the rat beat at her. At the magical pet shop, Hermione buys a cat she names Crookshanks, a giant orange furball with a squashed face, who immediately tries to kill Scabbers. Ron is furious. Hermione insists her cat is just being a cat, but Crookshanks is clearly a menace. Harry overhears Mr. and Mrs. Weasley arguing late one night. They're talking about Sirius Black and how he's after Harry. Mr. Weasley thinks Harry should be told the truth, but Mrs. Weasley thinks it'll just scare him. Harry pretends he didn't hear anything and tries not to panic, while wondering why Sirius Black is after him. Chapter 5. The Dementor, or the worst train ride ever. It's time for Hogwarts. Everyone boards the Hogwarts Express. Harry, Ron, and Hermione find a compartment with a sleeping man in shabby robes, Professor R.J. Lupin, the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. His name is literally on his luggage. They discuss Sirius Black, who's supposedly a raving lunatic. Ron's dad gave Harry a warning before the trio boarded the Hogwarts Express train. Don't go looking for Black, don't be a hero, and tell a teacher if you see anything suspicious. This is reasonable advice that Harry will definitely ignore later. The train suddenly stops in the middle of nowhere. The lights go out. The temperature drops to freezing. A cloaked figure boards the train, a Dementor, the guards of Azkaban prison. It's looking for Sirius Black. The Dementor enters their compartment, and it's terrifying. It's a faceless creature in a black cloak that radiates despair and cold. Harry feels every terrible thing he's ever experienced all at once. He hears his mother screaming as Voldemort kills her, and then he faints. Professor Lupin wakes up, casts a spell that drives the Dementor away with silvery light, and gives Harry chocolate, apparently the magical cure for Dementor exposure. Harry is humiliated that he fainted while Ron and Hermione stayed conscious. Lupin explains that Dementors affect Harry more because he's experienced true horror in his past. This is a really depressing way to start the school year. Chapter 6. Talons and Tea Leaves, or Divination is Nonsense. The school year begins. Dumbledore announces that Dementors will be stationed around Hogwarts to search for Sirius Black. But students should avoid them because Dementors don't understand excuses or innocence. They just drain happiness from everyone nearby. New classes start at Divination with Professor Trelawney. She's a professor who wears huge glasses that give her a bug-eyed look, lives in a tower full of incense and crystal balls. She's constantly predicting everyone's death, especially Harry's. She reads tea leaves and tells Harry he has the Grim. A death omen that looks like a giant dog. Harry thinks she's a fraud. She probably is. Care of magical creatures with Hagrid. Hagrid is so excited to be teaching. First lesson, hippogriffs, which are horsebird hybrids that are proud and dangerous. You have to bow to them and wait for them to bow back, or they'll attack. Harry successfully rides a hippogriff named Buckbeak and has a great time. Then Draco Malfoy, being his usual arrogant self, insults a hippogriff and gets slashed across the arm. Malfoy screams like he's dying. He's fine, just dramatic. And Hagrid panics, thinking his teaching career is over. Malfoy milks this injury for weeks and gets Hagrid in trouble. The Slytherins start a campaign to get Hagrid fired and Buckbeak executed. They're the worst. Defense Against the Dark Arts with Professor Lupin. Finally, a competent teacher. Lupin is kind, practical, and actually teaches useful spells. First lesson, Facing a Boggart, which transforms into your worst fear. Neville's Boggart turns into Snape, hilarious, and Lupin teaches them to defeat it with laughter by imagining something ridiculous. Snape Boggart ends up wearing Neville's grandmother's clothes, and everyone cracks up. Harry doesn't get a turn because Lupin is worried Harry's Boggart would turn into Voldemort and terrify the whole class. Chapter 7. The Quidditch Match Disaster, or Dementors Ruin Everything. Quidditch season starts. Gryffindor versus Hufflepuff. The weather is terrible. Pouring rain, thunder, wind, total chaos. Oliver Wood, the obsessive Quidditch captain, insists they play anyway. During the match, Harry spots the Grim, the dog-shaped Death Omen, in the stands, which is distracting. Then Dementors flood the Quidditch pitch, dozens of them. Harry hears his mother screaming again, feels the overwhelming despair, and falls off his broom from 50 feet up. He blacks out. When he wakes in the hospital wing, Gryffindor lost the match, and his Nimbus 2000 flew into the Whomping Willow and got destroyed. His beloved broomstick is splinters. Harry is devastated. Dumbledore was furious that Dementors entered the grounds and blasted them off the pitch, but the damage is done. Harry's broom is gone, and he's terrified of the Dementors. Harry decides he needs to learn to defend himself. He asks Lupin to teach him to fight Dementors, and Lupin agrees to give him private lessons after Christmas. Chapter 8. Flight of the Fat Lady, or Sirius Black breaks into Hogwarts. Halloween arrives. Everyone's at the feast when they return to find the Fat Lady's portrait slashed to ribbons. She's hiding in another painting, terrified, saying Sirius Black attacked her when she wouldn't let him into Gryffindor Tower. Sirius Black was in the castle. The entire school goes into lockdown. Students sleep in the Great Hall that night while teachers search everywhere. Snape is furious, demanding to know how Black got in and suggesting he was helped by someone inside Hogwarts. He's clearly implying Lupin, which is rude. The castle is now on high alert. Security is tightened. The Fat Lady gets a security troll. Everyone's paranoid. Later, they learn Peeves, the poltergeist, saw Black and said he was trying to get into Gryffindor Tower. But how did Black know where to go? How did he get past the Dementors? And why is he so determined to get to Harry? Chapter 9. Grim Defeat, or Harry learns about his parents' betrayal. The next Quidditch match is coming up, Gryffindor versus Ravenclaw. Harry needs a new broom desperately. Then Harry receives a present. It's the Firebolt, the best racing broom in existence, as an anonymous gift. Everyone freaks out. This broom costs more than some houses. Ron thinks it's from an admirer. Hermione thinks it's from Sirius Black, and could be cursed to kill Harry. She reports it to McGonagall, who confiscates it for testing. Ron and Harry are furious at Hermione for ruining Harry's chance to have the best broom ever. Their friendship is strained and they stop talking to Hermione for a while. Meanwhile, Hermione is stressed and keeping secrets about her schedule. She's taking way too many classes and is never in the common room. Things get worse. On Christmas morning, Harry goes to visit Hagrid and learns Ron's rat Scabbers has disappeared. Probably killed by Crookshanks, Ron is devastated and blames Hermione. Their fight escalates into a massive argument. Chapter 10. The Marauder's Map, or Harry gets the best present ever. Fred and George Weasley give Harry an incredible early Christmas present. The Marauder's Map, a magical document showing every person's location in Hogwarts in real time, including secret passages. It was made by Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs, whoever they are. The map requires you to say, "I solemnly swear that I am up to no good," to activate it, and Mischief managed to clear it. It's the most useful rule-breaking tool ever invented. Harry uses a secret passage he saw on the map and his invincibility cloak to sneak into Hogsmeade, without a permission slip, and meets Ron and Hermione. They visit Honeyduke's sweet shop and the Three Broomsticks pub. Everything's great until Harry overhears McGonagall, Fudge, and Madame Rosmerta discussing Sirius Black. They reveal a horrible truth. Sirius Black was Harry's dad's best friend. They were inseparable at Hogwarts. James Potter even made Black Harry's godfather. He was also Harry's parents' secret keeper, but Black betrayed them to Voldemort, which led to their deaths. When another friend of theirs, Peter Pettigrew, confronted Black about the betrayal, He murdered Pettigrew and 12 muggles with one curse. The curse Black used on Pettigrew was so explosive, they only found Pettigrew's finger. Black was laughing when the Ministry arrested him, completely insane. He is trying to finish what Voldemort started by killing Harry. Hiding under a table at the Three Broomsticks and hearing all of this, Harry is furious. Black didn't just betray his parents. He's the reason they're dead. Harry wants revenge. Harry's entire life could have been different. He's overwhelmed with rage and grief. Ron and Hermione find Harry and try to comfort him, but he's too angry. He swears he'll kill Sirius Black if he gets the chance. Chapter 11. The Firebolt returns, or Harry gets his broom back and Ron gets his rat back. After weeks of testing, McGonagall returns the Firebolt. It's not cursed. Harry's thrilled. Ron apologizes to Hermione for being angry about the broom, and their friendship starts healing. But then Scabbers reappears. He's been hiding under Ron's bed the whole time, not killed by Crookshanks after all. Ron's relieved, but also embarrassed he blamed Hermione. Hermione's still stressed about her impossible schedule. Gryffindor plays Ravenclaw. Harry's riding the Firebolt, which is incredible. Faster than anything he's ever flown. Ravenclaw doesn't stand a chance. But then Dementors appear again, or so Harry thinks. This time, Harry's ready. He casts a Patronus charm, a spell Lupin taught him that repels Dementors, and produces a silvery stag that drives them away. Gryffindor wins spectacularly. Except the Dementors were actually Malfoy, Crabbe, Goyle, and Flint in black cloaks, trying to sabotage Harry. McGonagall is furious and gives them all detention. Malfoy's plan backfired completely. Chapter 12. The Patronus Lessons, or Harry learns about his father. Harry continues his anti-Dementor lessons with Lupin. The Patronus charm requires you to focus on your happiest memory while casting it. It's incredibly difficult magic, and most adult wizards can't do it. Harry struggles at first. His happy memories aren't strong enough, but eventually, he manages to produce a silvery Patronus. Not fully formed yet, but strong enough to drive back a boggart Dementor. Lupin is impressed. During their final lesson, Harry asks Lupin if he knew his parents. Lupin admits he was friends with them at Hogwarts. Harry asks if his dad really was as wonderful as everyone says. Lupin admits that him and James Potter were friends at Hogwarts. He tells Harry that his father was talented and popular, and had a talent for trouble, similar to Harry. Reminding Harry that James and Lily Potter sacrificed their life so Harry could live. Chapter 13. Gryffindor vs. Slytherin, or the tension builds. The final Quidditch match is coming. Gryffindor versus Slytherin for the cup. The whole school is invested. If Gryffindor wins by a large enough margin, they'll win the cup for the first time in years. Meanwhile, Hermione is having a breakdown. She's taking an impossible number of classes, often attending multiple classes at the same time. Somehow she's exhausted and snapping at everyone. She drops divination in a dramatic exit where she tells Trelawney the class is nonsense. True. Ron's rat Scabbers is acting weird again, stressed and trying to escape. Ron thinks Crookshanks is still stalking him. Hagrid is preparing for Buckbeak's trial. The Hippogriff is going to be executed because Draco Malfoy made a big deal about his injury and Lucius Malfoy pushed for it. Hagrid is devastated. Harry, Ron, and Hermione promise to help, but there's not much they can do against the system. The Quidditch match arrives. Gryffindor plays brilliantly. Harry's Firebolt is unstoppable. Malfoy tries to grab the end of Harry's broom during the match to prevent Harry from catching the snitch, cheating, and later in the match, Harry pushes Draco Malfoy's hand away to catch the snitch, satisfying. Gryffindor wins by enough points to take the cup. Oliver Wood is crying with joy. It's perfect. Chapter 14. Snape's Grudge, or everyone's secrets start spilling out. Exams approach. Everyone's stressed. Harry, Ron, and Hermione are more worried about Buckbeak's execution, scheduled for the day after exams end. After divination classes, Harry returned to Trelawney's tower to retrieve a book he forgot, when Trelawney makes a chilling prediction to Harry. This time, it seems real. She says something vague about servants returning to their master, and a Dark Lord returning. Harry notes that she recovers herself and doesn't remember making the prediction. He believes this was a real prediction. The last exam is potions with Snape, who's in an even worse mood than usual. He's been hostile to Lupin all year, and it's getting worse. Snape keeps teaching the class about werewolves and how to recognize them and making pointed comments about Lupin's absences, which coincide with full moons. Suspicious. After exams, Hagrid sends a note. Buckbeak's trial happened. He lost. The execution is scheduled for sunset today. Hagrid is heartbroken. Harry, Ron, and Hermione sneak down to Hagrid's hut to comfort him. They know there's nothing they can do to save Buckbeak, but they want to be with Hagrid when it happens. Chapter 15. The Truth Comes Out, or Everything You Knew is Wrong. Harry, Ron, and Hermione visit Hagrid before Buckbeak's execution. They're trying to console him when Scabbers bites Ron and escapes. Ron chases the rat across the grounds, Harry and Hermione following. As Ron finally catches Scabbers and holds him, Harry and Hermione see a massive black dog, the Grim, which grabs Ron by the leg and drags him into a hole under the Whomping Willow. Harry and Hermione barely dodge the violent tree as they follow Ron down the hole in the tree that leads to the Shrieking Shack, the most haunted building in Britain. Inside, they find Ron with a broken leg, Scabbers gone, and Sirius Black waiting for them. Black is skeletal and dirty from Azkaban, holding a wand on them. Harry is about to attack Black when Crookshanks appears. The cat has been helping Black all year. Hermione's cat is a traitor. Then Professor Lupin shows up, disarms Harry and Hermione, and embraces Black like an old friend. Hermione screams that Lupin's been helping Black get into the castle all year. It looks terrible. But then Lupin and Black start explaining, and the truth is insane. Plot twist number 1. Scabbers the rat is actually Peter Pettigrew, a wizard who's been hiding as Ron's pet for 12 years. Plot twist number 2. Sirius Black is innocent. Pettigrew betrayed Harry's parents to Voldemort, not Black. Black went after Pettigrew for revenge, but Pettigrew faked his own death by cutting off his own finger, killing 12 muggles with an explosion, and transforming into a rat to escape. Plot twist number 3. Lupin is a werewolf, which is why he disappears every month during the full moon. Plot twist number 3. Black, Pettigrew, and James Potter were all animagi at school, wizards who could transform into animals. Turning into their animal form, whenever Lupin transformed to a werewolf, they explored every inch of the school. That's how they created the Marauders map. Moony is Lupin the werewolf, Wormtail is Pettigrew the rat, Padfoot is Black the dog, Prongs is James the stag. Plot twist number 5. Snape arrives and tries to arrest Black, still believing he's guilty. But Harry, Ron, and Hermione actually disarm Snape and knock him out because they believe Black and Lupin's story now. Sirius and Lupin force Pettigrew to transform back into a human. He's pathetic and begging for mercy, making excuses about how Voldemort would have killed him if he hadn't betrayed the Potters. Nobody's buying it. Black and Lupin plan to kill Pettigrew, but Harry stops them. He wants Pettigrew to face justice and clear Black's name, not die quickly. They agree to take Pettigrew to the castle. Chapter 16. The Moon Rises, or Everything Goes Horribly Wrong. They're walking back to the castle, Black and Lupin escorting Pettigrew. Harry feeling lighter than he has in years, because his godfather is innocent, and he might actually be able to live with him. Then the full moon comes out from behind the clouds. Lupin transforms into a werewolf. Sirius Black transforms into a dog to fight the werewolf and protect the kids. In the chaos, Pettigrew grabs Lupin's dropped wand, stuns Ron again, and escapes as a rat. Everything falls apart. Lupin the werewolf is dangerous and chasing them. Black the dog is fighting him. Harry and Hermione are trying to protect Ron. Then Dementors show up, hundreds of them, flooding the area. The Dementors attack. Harry tries to cast a Patronus, but there are too many. They're overwhelming him, draining his life and happiness. He sees a figure across the lake casting a powerful Patronus, a silver stag that drives all the Dementors away. Harry thinks he saw his dad. Then he passes out. Chapter 17. The Time Turner, or Hermione has been cheating at school all year. Harry wakes in the hospital wing. He's devastated to learn that Sirius Black was captured and is about to receive the Dementors' kiss, a fate worse than death where they suck out your soul. Pettigrew escaped. Nobody believes Harry's story about Black being innocent except Dumbledore, who can't override the Ministry's decision. Dumbledore hints that Harry and Hermione should use time to save more than one innocent life tonight. Hermione understands immediately. She reveals her secret. She's been using a time turner all year, a magical hourglass that lets her travel back in time. That's how she's been taking multiple classes at once. McGonagall gave it to her at the start of the year. Hermione and Harry use the time turner to go back 3 hours. They have to be incredibly careful not to be seen by their past selves or change events too much. Their mission: save Buckbeak the Hippogriff and then save Sirius Black. They successfully steal Buckbeak moments before his scheduled execution. The executioner's axe hit a pumpkin instead. Then they wait by the lake for the right moment. When the Dementors attack their past selves, Harry realizes he was the one who cast the powerful Patronus, not his dad. He was seeing his future self. Harry casts the spell, producing a fully corporeal Patronus in the shape of a stag, his father's animagus form, which drives away all the Dementors. They rescue Sirius Black from the tower where he's imprisoned, and he escapes on Buckbeak. Black thanks Harry and promises to stay in touch. He's free, even if he has to remain in hiding. Chapter 18. Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs, or goodbye to the best teacher. Harry and Hermione hurry back to the hospital wing before the clock chimes 12 and meet Dumbledore leaving. He winks at them like nothing happened, because from everyone else's perspective, nothing did. They never left. Snape is furious that Black escaped and blames Harry. Fudge thinks Snape has gone mad for making such an accusation. Professor Lupin resigns. Parents complained when they learned a werewolf was teaching their children. Snape accidentally let it slip. Lupin is disappointed but understanding. He returns the Marauder's map to Harry and tells him his father would be proud. Before Lupin leaves, he explains the full story. The Marauders, James, Sirius, and Peter, became animagi illegally in school to keep Lupin company during his werewolf transformations. James wasn't perfect, but he grew into a good man. Sirius wasn't a traitor. Peter was. The school year ends. Gryffindor won the Quidditch Cup. Harry didn't die, despite Trelawney's predictions. He has a godfather now, even if Sirius has to stay hidden. On the Hogwarts Express home, Harry receives a letter from Sirius containing permission for Harry to visit Hogsmeade, signed as Harry's godfather, and an owl, a gift for Ron to replace Scabbers. Ron is thrilled. Harry's heading back to the Dursleys, but now he has hope. He has a godfather who cares about him. He has friends who'd travel through time to help him, and he knows that sometimes the people everyone thinks are guilty are innocent, and the people everyone thinks are innocent are traitors. The truth is complicated, but Harry's finally learning to see past the surface. At King's Cross, Uncle Vernon is waiting, and Harry wastes no time in telling him that his godfather, an escaped mass murderer, is on the loose and very keen to hear from Harry how the Dursleys are treating him. The look of terror on Uncle Vernon's face makes it obvious that Harry will most likely have a better holiday. The end. What we learned. Time travel is confusing but useful. Never trust a rat that lives for 12 years. Werewolves are people too, except during full moons. Dementors are the absolute worst. The Marauders were both troublemakers and heroes. Your dad's friends might be better than you thought. Crookshanks is smarter than everyone gave him credit for. Hermione has been breaking the space-time continuum for extra homework. The Firebolt is worth every galleon. And most importantly, sometimes the convicted murderer is innocent, and the dead hero is the actual traitor. Coming next, Harry discovers there's a tournament that kills students. Someone puts his name in a magical goblet against his will. Everybody hates him again. Dragons try to murder him, and Voldemort comes back with a new body. Fun times ahead.